Oh, hey there! Welcome. This is the last part of topic 1. So the last part of function transformations, and that's one more vertical transformation we'll be looking at, specifically absolute value. And you've looked at the absolute value of certain functions in previous years. You looked at absolute value of linear functions and of quadratic functions. And what that did to those functions was employ partial reflection. We know that taking the absolute value of anything negative turns it positive, but in terms of what operation happens, you multiply it by -1. The absolute value of 7 is 7 times -1. So a vertical reflection happens to anything negative, and anything positive stays exactly same. So if we look at this particular function here, we've got some positive parts, we've got some negative parts. Anything positive stays exactly as it was. So this stays exactly as it was. This stays exactly as it was. We can trace right over that. But here, that has to flip to the other side. So this was -1. Absolute value of -1 is +1. Here this was -2. That should be +2. There's -3, -4. So those should all become positive instead. And then of course, let's just double check our endpoints. On this side, that was just the end of things. So if you want, you can solid dot it to say, hey, don't keep going. And the other end was an arrow, so we just make sure we maintain that arrow. As with other transformations, we can have more than one transformation at a time. So in this case, sure, we just had absolute value. But here, we've got absolute value and a shift. And what you can do, just as when we combine stretches and compressions with translations, we can handle these stretches, compressions, and reflections before handling something like this shift, this translation. So I'll do this one in 2 steps. I'll use, I'll use purple to handle the absolute value part, and I'll go pink for my final graph where I handle the rest of it. So for purpley, everything we're taking the absolute value of. So this can stay same. It's all positive up to there. Oh, but you're right. We should be using a dotted line because this is not our final graph. So anything positive, I'm just tracing right over. Anything negative is what has to flip. So that's the purple part done. Then we just have to shift up by 1. So just as we've done previously, we're going to take all our existing points, balance them up by 1 whole unit. And then this one is done. We want to be connected dots, of course. So using your trusty ruler for these straight lines. Noting the arrowhead on the left, as it was before. Oyo. Shaboom. That one is done. Oh, a couple more, hey? Sure, why not? We've got a few transformations happening here. So we've got the absolute value transformation, we have this vertical stretch, and then we have these translations. Again, let's handle them one at a time. Personally, I'm going to do the absolute value first, because I can. So There's that positive. There's that positive. They end there. They don't go on forever. And then absolute value-wise, anything negative becomes positive. That part's done. Now let's employ the vertical stretch. Multiplying by 2, 2 becomes 4. 0 stays 0, 1 becomes 2. But still a dotted line, we're still not done this thing. That's that. And for the final form, we're going to go right 2, we're going to go down 3. So everything right 2 and down 3, right 2, down 3, right 2, down 3, right 2, down 3, right 2, down 3. Now we can use a solid line or curve to say, yeah, this is legit the end of it. This is for sure what this graph will look like. Nice. The end. Except for this other one. Again, take things one at a time. My personal preference is the absolute value first. Again, dotted lines for anything positive. Or sorry, dotted lines for anything that's not our final form. Silly goofus. Anything negative becomes positive. My accuracy apparently wanes. Alright, that's that. We've got an arrow at this other end. Absolute value is done. Now, we have to multiply everything by -1. There's a, whatever that's called, reflection. So now we're employing this vertical reflection. Taking all these, even draw straight. That's that. So just order-wise, this was first. That was second. And then final step, we're adding 2. All right, we can do that. That's no problem. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's our final form. We may have noticed as you did these 4 graphs, or well, some of them anyways, is just because there's an absolute value involved doesn't mean the final graph is going to have everything positive. That's just one step of things. Like if I took the absolute value of 5 and then subtracted 9, that would still end up negative. So these operations happen in their certain order. And then from there, other operations happen that can still modify values. So yeah, this one ended up pointing downwards toward negative land on the left-hand side. There's huge chunks of it that are negative. And that is possible because of the order of operations and the effects that each operation has on the overall graph. That was real quick. So remaining in here is just a bit of review. There's textbook review, which you can look at, but also valuable will be these questions from a past provincial exam, the January 2019. So all of our booklets will have questions from the 2019 January provincial assessment pertaining to this particular topic. So from the provincial exam, 6 of the questions were pertaining to transformations, for a total of 10% of the marks. So you can give those a go. Link to the marking guides is posted in Teams. If you have questions, comments, concerns, again, you can ask me in class, or you can ask me via Teams. One way or another, just make sure you get any concerns addressed. It's been a slice for topic 1. I hope you look forward to topic 2. I hope you enjoyed that this video was slightly shorter than the previous one. Take care, and I'll miss you until I see you. Bye.